so that I'm sure it's recording. Okay. Oh, hold on. I want to turn the sound off. Is that okay? Yeah, there is some sound, like you can hear her hands clapping,
yeah, you can hear
and
her hands. That's true.
maybe she
Yeah.
vocalizes or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
I was thinking voices. I'm thinking I didn't hear any voices.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, start it.
All right, ready? Okay.
Yes.
So in the past, at the NAD, the National Association of the Deaf, many people sent in complaints about Governor Dugard. And the NAD also wrote a statement in support of marriage equality. And what happened was that Dugard was actually let go. He stepped down and he didn't present at the NAD. And everything that happened was very interesting. So I had to applaud him. Now, Olivia Davidson planned all sorts of different organizations, and all during that week, there were many different presentations and discussions about everything that happened there, and I really enjoyed going there. And people stood up and they talked about what was right and not right, and we started to build our confidence and our awareness between what's right and wrong, oppression and not oppression, and we discussed all sorts of ways to support people. So, you know, I got to see all of these different talks and all of these different isms we discussed. So, for example, heterosexism, which means that, you know, straight is best and gay and lesbian people should just be disregarded. Basically that. And sexism, where men are the most important and proper and everyone looks up to them and everyone looks down on women and oppresses them. And then we have racism, which of course means that one group with a particular skin color, you know, for example, white people in the United States have all of the power. And if a white people tend to have more privilege, whereas people of color are looked down upon or persecuted, ignored, and all sorts of things like that. So we discussed all of these different isms, and I loved everything that people were proposing, all of the language choices that they were using, and all this dialogue. I was so fascinated, and everyone was learning, and I was learning too, and there were so many things that I agreed with, and it was very exciting. But there was one little thing that made me think, gave me pause. A few times I, talked to people about how there really aren't studies about deaf people, and we really have to stand back and consider everyone's identity in the community. You can't consider that, your particular identity is the better and more important than other people's. No, it's really important to analyze yourselves and your relationships with other people. It's really important to understand your own privileges. Everyone has some form of privilege. Now, of course, you could be born into society and have certain advantages, and, that's a kind of privilege. Maybe you're, now I'm not a total expert on this, I'm still learning, but I understood a few things about privileges. Maybe certain people are disenfranchised in our society. Other people have it a lot easier in life, they have more access to different things. And some people get all of these things and people will say, oh, it's just because of who they are. It's just because of what they look like. It's just because of their situation or their circumstances. And other people lose out and they don't have these same kinds of privileges. We experience inequality. They don't have access. I mean, everybody has, their ups and downs, but there's a definite imbalance here.
Okay.